right. Live for sure, for real.
Alright. Jason is saying he can't get it to work.
There'll be a little bit of lag on it.
Alright.
But I'm seeing it playing
See, I've got it here. Alright, I've got it here. Got 3 watching. I'm gonna just ask Jason, is it working
here.
now?
Alrighty.
You got this?
Yeah.
Alright.
I hope everybody can see.
Right now we can see you're on.
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna ask, can everybody see and hear things correctly?
Hope so. Getting audio according to everything on my side.
We will see. And you already asked Jason,
Yep.
can you? I'm gonna go to his notebook. Alright. Let's see if this shows up. Alright, still not working for Jason, so I'm wondering if there's another. I need to look back in the previous patron things.
He says there's no link.
Let's try and look what the other link was.
Well, I'm on the Patreon page and I can see it. Like it is playing.
I remember the last time we had some trouble. Not this Friday, but the Friday before.
This is super way. Let's see if I can sharpen this up a little bit.
Okay, so the link I got was to work last time was one that had a, youtube.com/watch ? And then it had one of those like number sets. The one we have right now is
I just put a link up for him to try and follow.
alright. Okay.
Does that link work for you?
Let me look. It looks like it does.
I think we're in. I think we're good now.
Alright. I am gonna put that link.
Well, welcome to the stream.
Yes. Now the link supposedly works. Yay! It did work. Fantastic. It is a little bit choppy, but it's working. Question is...
Yeah, that's probably just my connection.
Yeah. Shadow, how's
always
the
trash.
sound and stuff for this?
Yeah, is the sound choppy like the audio, or is it just the video?
Yeah.
Well, it's not saying I'm dropping frames. But it clearly looks kind of on the choppy side, so I don't know.
No. Works either way. So I am going to get set on my stuff
Okay.
because over here, Mr. Withers, as we get going, and I'm scooting in, I have a cat on my shoulders. No, she's going down. She's about to start complaining that she can't get out. But I don't want to put her out because it's cold outside. And I know that's what she's going to do. She's going to go, yeah, outside I don't want you to.
I covered the door. She can't
Alright.
go through.
So if you hear a lot of complaining and bitching,
It's because we're trying to get Annie comfortable being inside again. She got freaked out earlier this summer when we
'Cause
had a
too
whole
many
bunch
people.
of house guests for a few days over a weekend. And she has not been comfortable inside ever since. So we're trying to reacclimate her.
and I thought the stream last night, Shadow, was a nice stream. We enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got to figure out who was the winner, and it turned out to be Luna by a little ways. So we're going to do the roll of the dice to see who wins tonight, which is very exciting. I know you're hoping for the peace. I know other people are hoping for the peace. It's pretty epic and pretty awesome. Adam is quite happy that he's doing Luna, isn't
I am
he?
extremely happy. She was my favorite to win. I was hoping for her. There were a couple other characters that would have been a lot of fun. I would have loved doing Ryuko. I would have loved doing Steve Buscemi. For the joke of it, how often do I get to draw Steve Buscemi? Not
Yep.
very. But Luna was my favorite. Luna remains my favorite.
I think we could have done any one of them and had it be awesome.
Yeah.
But this is just great. So I am going to tag the other patrons on Facebook to let them know who won here. Because we've been having a day where we went out and about. Did we not, honey?
It had been quite a week. We felt like we were due for a little relaxation time before this tonight.
Although the place that we went out to eat apparently makes everything super
Everything
spicy.
spicy, yeah. We had fancy burgers there a couple
And
weeks ago. And
Expressly
they were good, but
ordered
they were
tonight.
spicy.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to try some of the other, some different burgers.
And
to
it's
see.
not just a little spicy either. It's
It's
very spicy to the
yeah.
point that you can't taste what you're eating.
And we are too white for that level of spice.
Yep. So we thought, well, we'll go, and I see this one thing on the menu, and it doesn't have a lot of spice. So if we do that, then...
Because the burgers, they cook the burger. They have the Impossible Burger, which is something that all of us vegans and vegetarians are losing our minds over because it's so goddamn good. And they cook it really well there. They make super good burgers. They have one, in the past, they had been chosen the best burger in America at this restaurant. So we, wanted to give them the old college try. If the first burgers were too spicy, well, they have other options. But it
But
seems
no.
as though they put spicy in every dang thing.
You really go for it, and I was none too pleased. I was like, God damn it! Because all I wanted was something simple.
Yeah.
That's it. Oh well. So now I am tagging all our other patrons here. Let's see here. So Adam, you keep talking while I'm typing things. Adam says, I don't have anything to say.
Thinking. Just planning things out here.
What are you thinking
Working
about,
in
sir?
some color pens right now because I want things to have a nice blend to them. In this part of the tone for these glasses, I want it to feel like a pure color for the lenses. So I don't want there to be like a strong black.
And Shadow saw Saving Abel last night.
Very cool.
Yes.
We haven't been out to a concert in ages.
No. And just so everybody knows, everyone who's watching, because there's 7 people out there.
Hi-oh.
My goodness,
That's
on the
pretty
Patreon
intense.
stream, that's pretty important.
Yeah.
Whoever has topics they want us to talk about, whether we want to talk about Harry Potter or something different.
Which we will happily do.
Yep, topics, questions, what have you. We do stuff. We do the talking. Whilst I do the tagging. Because that's what I'm doing right now.
Comfy tags.
I am tagging.
It's what she do.
It's one of my things.
I'm gonna
Very
ink
skilled
her
at it.
hair with this warm gray because I'm gonna give her a very silvery platinum hair. And by inking with this warm gray color instead of a black, that hair is gonna feel really
Super platinum.
well, it's gonna feel a little bit like translucent, like it's glowing.
Mmm. Fancy pants.
Yeah, it really gives it a nice life. So if you're wondering why
Why indeed?
I'm not using black ink on everything, that's why. I'm most comfortable when I'm using ink of some kind, when I'm doing a line drawing, as opposed to a more traditional art kind of thing. Straight painting and that jazz. I'm just never comfortable doing it that way. So if I can use line as the dominant part of the stuff I'm working on, I'm usually going to want to.
And
But by using colored line, I can get a little bit of the best of both worlds.
Alright. There we go. I've done my tagging.
These cute little like wing piercings. I saw somebody with these and I thought they were really fun.
And me, baby girl, just dying here. I know. So sad. Oh, baby girl.
Her radishes. I always want to do different kinds of things with Luna's earrings, but I always come back to the radishes.
Jamie's here too. She says hi. Well, hello, Jamie.
Oh, I'm sorry you couldn't vote, Jamie. I hope you're all right with Luna.
I think they're all right enough with Luna.
I don't know how
They have
anybody-
their fingers crossed that they win tonight. We will see.
Don't know how anybody could not love Luna.
I think you have to have a pretty hard heart to love.
You have
not
to have a
love
pretty
Luna.
empty heart. She's so great.
Oh, hey, honey. Not everybody can be as awesome as you hope them to be.
I know. I have often said that if the Harry Potter books had just been about Hermione, Luna, and Ginny, I would have been just as happy. Perhaps more so.
Because they are your characters.
She was better at writing the girls than the guys.
Yes, that's also true. You do not lie,
So it would have
sir.
been all the things we loved without any of the things that made us go,
So over here, I am working on a little image of somebody else's character here for a person who's on Webtoon.
Yeah, we're doing an art trade with somebody, another Webtoon creator.
So this is a person who was kind enough to help us out with getting stuff up online.
Yeah, there was a period of time when they sort of closed down portions of Webtoon while they prepped for the finalists for their big contest. And we couldn't get any of our stuff to post, and this girl found us and explained what we needed to do.
Well, she did a lot of research to figure it out.
Yeah, I don't know if it was something she had to figure out for herself, or and she was just sharing what she found, or if she specifically found it for our sakes, but
she wrote
whatever
this
the case,
huge diatribe of stuff.
It was really helpful. We were very thankful.
Kudos to her.
This little art trade with her. She drew us a super adorable
Kid
picture of Kid Quick. We're doing one of her characters.
We're actually thinking of doing like a fan art post for Uniques and Rainbow.
Yeah, like inviting people in, and every so often, every few chapters on Webtoon, we'll have a fan art post with stuff from reader submissions.
All right, filling in some of these things over here. His character that I'm doing has strange multicolored eyes. So that will be a slight challenge to me when I'm coloring things. I feel a little bit disappointed that we don't have dueling streams tonight.
Yeah. Saturday isn't our usual stream night. I'm not sure how busy things get on Saturdays.
Would you want me to do a dueling stream?
I mean, you're certainly welcome to.
What? Yes, Shadow, anyone can send fan art. So whoever does, we're all about it. So if you and Jamie want to make some fan art.
And if it's somebody who themselves has a comic on Webtoon, we'll link back to it.
Yes.
Or try and point people to it.
Point people.
You can't do link backs.
Yeah, you can't do link backs. Yeah, me.
Webtoon doesn't know how to run a modern website.
Come here. Come on. Come here. Good God. Stop freaking out. This cat of ours, Adam. This cat. I love her.
She wouldn't freak out as much if you didn't give her such rewards for her freakouts. If you just let her go, she'll.
If I just let her
she'll chill.
Run herself out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, Annie, you're so lovable but exhausting as a cat.
Talking about my baby chub right now.
I am talking about your baby chub.
You be careful.
Lovable and exhausting. Let's see here. Can we eventually see what I'm working on? You know what? I'm just gonna. Why not? We are both streaming, so if I put in on my camera here, this should just work as the audio on.
Probably, yeah. Yeah.
In theory. Why not? And I'm set up because I did the stream last, so I should be set up already for
I believe so.
Streamlabs. So we're gonna see. Oh, Annie. Oh, Annie. I love you. You are a pain in my butt. Let's see here. I want to be streaming my Unova capture. And I just have to switch it to the other one, right? There it is. Done. Alright. And now I to set myself up on Twitch.
Apparently we're freaking out their cats.
Oh, I apologize. This one is unique. Would that be an okay thing to say about the baby
She's
chub?
certainly unique. That is true.
Yes.
Thomas, this is our welcome to the Patreon stream. Yes, we're doing a little YouTube stuff now.
Yep, I'm gonna do a little bit of just why not streaming on what is it? On regular Twitch. Myself just now. And then we'll have people from both things, but then we'll also be able to be like, hey, if you want to see Luna be drawn, you can go over here. For it is great. So now I gotta change up stuff. So Tom, are we gonna see you at YumaCon again this year? Because we're getting ready for that. That's the next con. Adam can say stuff too.
Adam's working.
Comfort's trying to type.
Yeah, we are sort of getting ready for YumaCon. We're working on the badge art for Yuma right now. And we're trying to get together our new setup, our new backdrop. I don't know if we'll have it ready in time. There have been a million other things that have been taking up our attention.
There is a million other things.
We have a new backdrop ready. We just need to produce a little more art for it and get some new things printed out to hang on it. But it's a lot to do.
It's always a lot to do. Alright, my information is updated. And I'm gonna stream here because why not?
Sure.
Confirm and go live on my side. We're live on both. I am gonna make sure, do I have audio on this? So, which is the audio? Desktop device? There it goes. Alright, that must be my camera here. I'm guessing. It says that there's audio.
Oh, Cuff? Show we're live, we've got to switch our music. Switch the music.
David sometimes does Harry Potter.
Willing to take a risk, alright.
Will they just take this thing down as a whole, or all of them?
No, they don't take everything down, they just mute the video so that nobody can hear it.
Well, we'll see. We're gonna do a test, and if, you know, whatever happens, happens. We'll see. Huh, Annie. So people can watch me do this while I do the other thing, or while Adam does the other thing. So I'm gonna bring up YouTube again, so I've got both. Alright, so Tom is going to be in the land of
he's bringing
YumaCon.
a test deck for a card game. Is this this is a new thing I'm taking it? A new project? Is it an original IP? Is it like an adaptation something of a game? Like what are you working on there, Tom?
And apparently Jamie is going to join the Twitch stream. So we're going to have a little bit of both. Alright. So
I suppose the other option is that Tom's game might not be IP related at all if it's more of a different kind of game. For some reason, whenever people talk about card games, the first thing that jumps into my head is CCGs, the sort of Magic kind of, or Gwent or those sorts of things.
And Gazer's here. Hello, Gazer. I am glad you made it. We are doing 2 streams. One here on Twitch and one on Patreon. So Adam's working on Luna Lovegood, and I'm working here on a little piece for a kind young lady who does a webtoon, and she was incredibly helpful to us. So this is a thank you / pilot program image. Will this work overall? I don't know, but we're gonna test things out. So now I'm starting onto the tone. There we go. And I have a cat on my shoulder. Oh, Annie, I wish you could learn to calm down. Yes, I know. I know. Alright, Mr. Withers. So let's get like a topic of conversation maybe going here. Let's see here. Tom says it's new as of last Youmacon. It was an adaptation of Mega Tokyo.
Oh, I was going to ask if it was
sense.
maybe something Mega Tokyo related, but I didn't want to assume.
And it sounds like Jason is his comic strip was influenced by Mega Tokyo. Tokyo, yes. Tom says the conceit of the game is that you're kind of playing two games at once. One is similar to MTG or Hearthstone, but the second element play is more like Flux.
Okay.
I don't know any of those. I'm sure Adam does.
Comfort's not. Doesn't exactly have her finger on the pulse of modern gaming.
I do not.
I have some familiarity, but I know these mostly by name or reputation because I do not play the collectible card games. I haven't played a collectible card game since Overpower back in the 90s. Shout out to all my 90s superhero CCG peeps.
I love you.
Word up to the population.
I love you. And what's going on, Gazer? Just in case you didn't hear me, Mr. Withers is working on Luna, but he is working on it on our special Twitch stream.
Yes.
So if for anybody who wants to come and watch Luna be done, she looks adorable. Is Luna on Dropbox or no? The rough.
I think so. I think there was some Dropbox.
Let me see if I can bring up that
Here.
rough.
Make sure it's
I'm gonna quick-
saved. If you wait, it's going to update, and then it'll be the top thing in your Dropbox. And you can
Okay.
just click that.
Alright. So I'm going to quick save this where it needs to go. And feel like there it is. Alright, mine is all saved. And now Adam's is syncing up, so when Adam's is up, you'll get to see what Adam is working on as well.
We're simulcasting with our Patreon followers.
Alright,
and
apparently Gazer's hearing something a lot louder than us. Alright, I'm trying to find out.
Check your audio sources, Kev.
I have
You
the.
shouldn't be. You shouldn't be having that problem.
Alright, apparently barely.
Check your audio sources. What is your current audio source?
Desktop audio
Yeah,
device?
that's probably not what you want.
Okay. How do I find.
Double click the source, honey, in the center column.
Okay.
That will be one of your audio sources, the mic.
Alright.
And from the drop down menu,
Alright.
say OK.
Okay.
It should have better audio than your whatever your desktop thing is.
Is this better? We'll see if this is any better. I don't know. It's a lot of technical difficulties here as we try and figure out what we're doing. Oh,
Yes,
Turn
Adam is
on.
drawing Luna. Yes, I guess I kind of have feminine fingers, which is fine. I've never been one of those, like, gotta have man hands kind of guys.
Adam's hands are very smooth. I like them a lot.
Supple.
I wouldn't want you to have painful man hands, honey.
Let somebody try and tell me that I've never worked a hard day in my life.
That's true.
I will pop them right in the gob. They will see what these feminine fingers can do to a nose.
Alright. I took down all of on my side, my soft, or not my soft, but my pen pressure, because I don't want any real pen pressure on this. I just want to be able to quick lay in color for this majesty. So I think, yes, now everyone can hear us. That's awesome. All right, guys, throw us out a topic. Anything you want us to talk about as a group, whatever. Fair game. Knock yourselves out. It's a special patron stream. It's an unexpected Twitch stream. We need something to talk about. Go. Adam, in the meantime, I will say, I like your drawing.
You always like my drawings.
What?
You're my comfy. You always.
I'm not
saying
always.
how
I
great my
tell you
drawings are.
when something could be better, do I not?
Yeah, but still.
Mm-hmm. I love you very
You're
much.
the easiest person in the world for me to please when it comes to the art.
Yeah, I have no idea what was going on with the sound gazer. It was weird. So, beats me. But now it's better. Or better-er.
Betrish.
Betterish. I am going to tell this person that I'm doing the drawing for that I'm coloring this right now. Here we go. Apparently nobody has ideas on my side for conversation. I might be reading something wrong. Oh, Annie. Are we asking for a conversation about tacos? Tucas? T-A-O-C-A-S?
Taucus? No idea.
I have no idea. And Gazer was just about to start a new sketch. Think about some characters from kind of weird story a while back. Well, go for it.
Draw something. Everybody draw.
Everybody should be drawing or working.
Even Thomas. Draw something, Thomas.
There you go. I'll take that. Alright. I am going to get myself back to regular us. There you go. So, you just let this other person know.
Alright, Shadow, what is your question? Fire away. Don't have to wait for permission.
No, really, guys, just throw things out. Alright. I'm already having fun here. It's been a little while since I've actually colored something like this, Mr. Withers.
Yeah, it's been a lot for me too. Not that I'm doing any of that coloring, but just saying we haven't really done that for a while.
Adam's reading.
Well, Thomas, reading from the Necronomicon incorrectly has much worse ramifications than attempting and failing to draw something.
I will ask everybody.
Klaatu Niktu isn't likely to cause absolute destruction or raise an army of the dead.
That's what I've
in
heard.
drawing form.
I feel like that's even more work. So I will ask, while we're waiting for Shadow's question here, what is everybody doing for Halloween? Is everybody getting ready for Halloween? Does anybody have special plans for Halloween time? For us, mostly, we're doing a stream, and we're going to YumaCon. Even though YumaCon's technically after Halloween, it's still kind of a Halloween show. You would say that, right, Mr. Withers?
Well, it Starts the Thursday immediately following. It starts the day after Halloween, so
Annie.
it's close enough for me.
So, if we're here for the day of Halloween, are we going to dress up to give candy to kids? Or
No.
We'll make my parents
I don't have
dress
anything
up.
to dress up with.
Well, we've got those fairy costumes. But on the other hand, I don't know if I want to put that kind of work in for the neighborhood kids. That sounds terribly selfish, but it's true. Let's see here. Let's see. So Gazer's saying the characters that she's going to draw is a fairly adorable couple. It's just that never quite been able to draw them all that right. You know, doesn't quite look right. Have we ever dealt with that problem? Characters that just don't seem like they came out the way that we wanted them to. Of course.
All the time.
It doesn't happen as often now because we do a lot of prep.
That's true.
You know, and the first time isn't going to be the perfect time. It's not like magic just flows from our pencils.
Yeah, no, it does not. Sadly, much as we wish it were so.
So, ways to counteract some of that stuff is I would look at setting up reference for yourself if you don't know what a character looks like. Sometimes too, I'd look at trying to cast them. Maybe it's with people you know, maybe it's with other like Hollywood people or musicians or politicians or whatever.
You're aiming for.
Exactly. Annie, I know. Our little girl kitty Annie is having a small fit. We're also splitting our audience here tonight because there are several of our people who are over on Adam's stream, and he is doing this special Patreon stream where he's drawing Luna Lovegood. That's what's happening. So that's on YouTube.
AKA the best. So here's a question we've got. How do we make our prints featuring licensed characters? Do we print them ourselves? Do we print them elsewhere?
We print them elsewhere.
Because when they go to get their stuff printed, they'll refuse him if the drawing features any copyrighted characters. How do we get around that? Well, print somewhere else. We have never had that. I think one time ever did anybody give a shit about whether
Where
or not...
are you printing, first of all? Annie.
I can tell you a place you can go. There's an online place called Litho Ninja that does a lot of printing for comic people, and they do not give a shit what you're doing because they work primarily with comic people. They understand the business more than like, you know, a
your average
Kinko's
person
or an Office Max or whatever you're doing.
I apologize to everybody who's going to keep hearing whining sounds from Annie because she is going to keep having conniption fits over there, and we're trying to get her more used to
being inside again.
Yeah. Now I am coloring this image that I'm doing right now in the style that I usually draw the comic pages in. So that
Walmart.
means that I'm
I
doing
didn't
selective.
even know Walmart did printing.
Walmart?
But that's not a big deal. I mean, it doesn't matter where you go if they're giving you the result that you want. You know, people would look at us as Scots when we said, "Oh yeah, we get our prints done at Office Max."
Yeah.
They're like, "What?"
That's where we got them done for years and years and years.
But Walmart gives you the results you like. There's nothing wrong with it. But if they're not letting you now, is it like store policy not to print, or was there like one dude who was like, "Hey, I recognize that character. I'm not going to print this. You don't own that." Because sometimes you'll just get one shitty dude who wants to flex a little muscle and thinks that they're doing somebody a favor. The gatekeeper types. That's what it was for us the one time we ever had that problem.
Now, quickly on my side here, Gazer has friends who want to hit a haunted house in preparation for Yoma. So that's awesome. And our fairy costumes were great. Also, Jason and Jamie are celebrating 11 years wedding anniversary on Halloween.
Yeah. I was just reading that on my side. The website I referenced was Litho Ninja, Litho Ninja. They do print-on-demand stuff. It's really affordable. It was cheaper for us to get our prints done there than it was to get them done at Office Max. I imagine it'll probably be cheaper to do them there than it will.
Right. I think you have to
Walmart
have
as well.
a certain amount that you print. You can't print one.
Well, sure. But if you're looking to sell these, it wasn't like we had to print 100 at a time or something.
No. I think 25 is the lowest.
Yeah, 25 might be the lowest, but 25 isn't that bad.
No.
You can sell 25 prints.
Well, then Gazer, switch out that hairstyle by all means. Try something different. Here's another thing that we do when we do our character stuff is we get a lot of different hairstyles to look. Like we research things, we find other examples, we look at whole pages that are devoted to different hairstyles and such. We look at different eras, different times.
Yeah, inspiration comes from a lot of different places.
Finding your look and knowing what you're going for to begin with. Not that it's going to be perfect, but it's giving you a roadmap. Like, we're really, really big fans of having roadmaps to do what we do. Alright, I'm almost done making all my selections. I'm a little more slow going because I'm sort of getting back in the groove of this because I've been doing so much writing and so much webtoon, like chop up stuff and so many other things that I have not been able to spend the time to really get in there and do color or do a lot of drawing, like this whole summer.
Well, you're gonna have to get back into it.
I know.
You've got at least one unique print that's gonna need to be colored soon.
I know it. Annie, oh my God.
She's fine, honey. You're just not I have such an easier time tuning that out than you do. You act like it's this horrible thing, and I hardly notice.
It's my mommy heart.
Yeah, I guess. Your mom's terrible at ignoring that stuff too. But she needs me, does she? Or are you just...
I love you. You're my favorite. Yes! Yes! You're my baby girl. I heart you. You're my favorite kitty. I don't know if that's true, but it's what I'm
Metal
saying.
says there was actually a real bitchy woman who refused a drawing I did of me, Jamie, and our son in Sonic style. She thought I copied an official character and refused very stubbornly. It wasn't copyrighted at all, but she insisted it was. Said it was copyright infringement. Well, that's just one shitty person. If you go back again and she's not the one working the counter, you probably won't have that problem. It's just one person being an asshole.
And you have other places that are not Walmart. Like, do you have an Office Max or something by you? Annie. So, I'm just saying, Adam, it's not just us here. It's other people, too, who have to listen to poor Annie cry and cry. Huh? Annie? Oh, Annie. Apparently, Gazer made sim characters a while back.
Yeah, you were working on those last night, weren't you?
Yeah.
You mentioned something about working on some Sims modding.
I mean, I think that can definitely help. I don't know what stuff is in The Sims, but there are little things that, you know, can do you well. So, like, for instance, for those who don't know, but I think a few people know over here already, we made our characters for Rainbow in the Dark in Rock Band.
That's how we did the first round of character design, was building the cast in Rock Band. And then we took those designs and said, okay, now let's take these another step farther. Now that we have a sense of how we want these characters to feel, let's go the distance with it, see what we can do.
Are we going the distance? Were we also going for speed?
Yes, honey.
Do you love me? Do you love me very much? Alright, as always too, for anybody who's coming on and watching the stream here, we talk about anything, so any subjects, any things that people want to talk about, go for it. Mr. Withers is doing Luna Lovegood on our patron stream, which I will put a link to right now.
Don't put a link to the stream, put a link
Well,
to the
I'll put a link not to the stream, but to the patron. Yes, anyone wants to go there? Boop. Patron. Let's see here. So if Gazer maybe gets a commission this year, might get these two characters because they're precious. And we do draw ships very well. That's one of our specialties. Because I don't know if you know this about us, Adam. Because other people do, but I don't know about you. We love love.
We are kind of big fans of love.
Mm-hmm.
Being sort of stupid in one of ourselves.
Oh, we are stupid in love.
We're actually going to be celebrating the 18th anniversary of our first date in just a couple weeks.
October 12th? Am I right?
Yeah, yep, October 12th.
My God, good job, me. Quite pleased with myself. So, how many years? 18?
18 years together.
My gosh. One more year and we'll have been together for as many years as we were alive when we met.
Yep.
Because we
It's our
met at 19.
50-50 year.
Maro's here.
From that day forward.
So Maro Weber is the person who I'm doing this quick,
Oh, nice.
nice little.
We're glad you could join us.
Yes. Maro, you are so kind, and as I told the story before, Maro was the one who did a lot of research and answered a very difficult question for us when we couldn't get Uniques and Rainbow posted up during the judging for the webtoon contest, and it was terribly frustrating. We couldn't figure it out, and I put out the call for help, and Mara was the one that heeded that call and wrote these big long diatribes on things, and it was amazing. And what a fantastic little webcomic Stranger is. Let me see if I can get a link to that. Go into my subscribed list. Where is it? Here it is. Yes, this is our cat Annie who wants out, but I will not let her out. And she, all right, good. I can never tell sometimes. You didn't have a lot of photos. Boop. There is a link to tomorrow's webcomic. Everybody should go and read it. If Adam gets a chance to, on his side, put a link, or actually, you know what, I can put a link myself in the stream over there.
We are currently simulcasting both a regular Twitch stream and I'm streaming for our Patreon followers a different picture entirely.
Yes, Adam's doing Luna Lovegood on his, and I'm doing this on mine. Oh, Annie, calm down. Yes. Our little kitty Annie needs to stay inside, and she's having a conniption fit about it. But we're not going to let you out of this room. We need you to learn to calm down, young lady. I know, it's the worst. Alright, so what I'm doing is I'm coloring what I was actually doing was I was coloring on the wrong layer. Let's lock that down. There we go. So what I'm doing is I'm doing selective color here, where I do a base coat of shadows and a base coat of highlights, and then I do little selections, and that's how I get the look of that kind of pseudo cell shaded look. And it works for our style, because our style we always think of as sort of animated realism. It's got the movement of animation, but it's got a lot of the structures of realism. There we go. So I'm just adding in a few more highlights to this hair, and then this next set of highlights, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use my dodge tool to brighten these highlights. Yes, Annie! Oh, I love you. You poor girl, I know you're dying here. So much anxiety, but it is cold outside. We live in Michigan here. And Maro, you live in, let's see here, is it Ecuador? You live in Ecuador? You tell me if I'm right. Oh, you guys can see I've got a cat on my shoulders now. Yes! I do hear you. I'm just choosing to ignore you, Annie. There we go. So, Maru, my sister Joy, she did her, what was it, Peace Corps.
She spent a tour of Peace Corps in Ecuador.
She did. And
she was there for a couple of years.
Yeah. So when I saw that you were from Ecuador, I was like, perfect. So that was a really important part of Joy's life. My sister Joy now lives in Dubai, and she teaches English for the U.S. government there. That's Joy's job. She very much wants us to go to Dubai. I don't know if I'm as excited to go to Dubai as Joy is excited to have us there.
I'll tell you who's the least excited is this guy. Dubai represents almost everything I hate.
And yes, you did, yeah. So, get off there, Annie. I love you. Everybody loves you, Annie. You're adorable. But you're still not going out. Yay! Questions for Webtoon because I know there's some people who are getting onto Webtoon. I think Maro has been on Webtoon longer than we've been on Webtoon.
Which would be hard.
Sure.
We have not been on very
Not been on Webtoon much. Like, we know, but we don't know. I can do a lot of, like, sort of researchy things through the land of YouTube and stuff, but I don't have hands-on knowledge of things like I would if we'd been doing this for the last few years. We probably should have, because, like, in hindsight, I can vaguely remember other people. Like, I think even the Webtoon people, like, came to us once at a show saying like, you should get on Webtoon, we actually pay. And we were like, uh-huh.
Sure you do.
Because everybody else was like, we pay. And we're like, yeah. And then when they're like, here's how much. And you're like, oh, thank you. Thank you for my $20. Oh, and you own everything? Well, you are too kind. So that was our attitude, because we've been self-financing our comics for years because, you know, we sell them, it finances the comics, and it finances our lives. So it was always hard to find the desire to
well, if we're going to give up any amount of our rights,
it has to be for something important.
It needs to be significant, what we get in return. We had not found anybody willing to make a deal that we were willing to accept, so when Webtoon came up, we kind of, I think we blew them off.
I think we did. Yep. I think they were there at like New York, probably like 2015 or something like that, and we're like, meh. Like, I remember where we were sitting and stuff too. And I remember seeing the card at the end, like, should we take this? And they're like, who knows? Probably just another person.
We just get those kinds of garbage offers so often. People are like, your stuff's great. Why don't you come do a thing for me and I'll pay you nothing?
And Gazer, don't you worry. I'm sure the internet and everything is not great here either. Yes, Annie. Alright. Like I said, I'm just sort of doing my base shadow on this. And since this is a flatter color here for the shirt I'm not going to put another level of highlights with just the brushing. I'm actually going to select the highlights. So my next thing is getting my selection tool, selecting the highlights. Adam can also talk about what he's doing as well, if you want to take the reins, Mr. Withers.
I'm currently doing the heavy outlines for the hair, which I've drawn, as I talked about earlier, in this warm gray, so that when the color goes on, it's going to fade this back really nicely, give it a silvery sheen. Now I get to do my heavy outlines on the rest of her. When the drawing for Luna will be done, I'll have to draw in backdrop. Forgot a little something here.
Alright. Just drawing in my stuff for where these highlights are going to go. Here we are. Okay. Now I know Annie. Alright. Now I'm going to deselect any extra excess that I might have gotten in there. Hide my selection, get my brush tool again, and get a lighter color.
So do a lot more hatching on the jeans than I'll do pretty much anywhere else. I don't usually get this texture, but when it comes to making like rough, beat up denim, I find that this hatching really has a nice effect. How long were we making comics before we started appearing at conventions? We actually were appearing at conventions for 5 years before we started making comics.
Yes.
We did it the opposite way. We had been selling prints and art and commissions and things for a long time before we started releasing our books.
Annie.
Which is not a bad way to do it, because by the time we started putting books out, we already had people who were big fans of our style. It was a lot easier to get them into our material than if we had started cold. If you're somebody who's making comics, I feel like you need to start hitting the con circuit as soon as you can.
Yep.
Because of just how valuable it is in building your audience.
actually getting close.
The dickens, you say?
I know. Getting close on this, and then I'll be putting some blush on and like trying to figure out the background. I know. Now, very quickly, Maro is here. Maro, if you have like a image at all for me of just like one of your backgrounds or whatever that I can pop in, like you've got a lot of like sunset skies and like kind of lives in a trash heap, like if you got something like that really prominently shows that, I was thinking of putting something like that as sort of a blurred background. Yes, Sammy. That was my thought, at least. And thank you. Yeah, just send that to me over on, what is it, on Facebook, and I can grab it there. And I'm sorry that the internet is so crappy, but this is a nice lazy stream tonight because everything sort of pulled in two directions here and then also on YouTube. So, and then also kitties. So don't worry, Gazer, if things aren't working out just right, or you can't be here for every single second, because again, this is just us all hanging out while things are getting colored in an impromptu stream. Usually we stream just on Friday and Wednesday, but I thought, you know what, we're doing this and Adam's over there working on Luna. I may as well. Exactly. Come on in. Question?
Yeah, I'm looking for this little girl.
You want Annie?
Yeah, come on.
We feeding kitties?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love you. So, my parents live with us here, and we take care of them, and in turn, they take care of the house. And feeding kitties and stuff like that, because to do this much work and put this much detail into comics and do all the social media and everything.
It takes a lot of time.
Yeah, it is a gargantuan amount of time. So, my parents used to go from place to place, you know, sort of doing pre-hospice care for people. And when they got too old for that, they needed a place to stay, and we jumped at the chance to have them here with us.
Because we reached the point where we really needed to hire some staff because we were just doing too much work, we had too much to do, it was all getting overwhelming. However, we had not reached the point where we were making enough money we could afford to hire staff. So, by bringing her parents on to take care of the house upkeep and that sort of thing, we were able to invest a lot more of our time into the business.
We could do the big how-to book for Random House through that. We can do a lot more detail on the comics. We can manage a whole lot more things.
You'd be surprised, or you know, maybe you wouldn't be surprised, just how much of your day can be taken up by things like laundry and cooking and cleaning and stuff.
And Maro, I think honestly, living with one's parents, that's where it's at. That's the millennial way.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't see that as being inherently problematic. We have this idea about in America there are a lot of really weird ideas about independence as this super narrow definition of what it means, and a lot of very negative connotations if you don't fit our particular version of what independence requires.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're somehow a failure as a human being if you want to remain with your family and have them with you. And we are almost alone in the world in having that opinion and looking at somebody as a failure if they still live with their family.
You know,
most of the rest of the world wouldn't imagine leaving their family.
I will ask Maro, how is it in Ecuador? Like, is living with your parents a stigma like it can be here in the U.S.? It's not as much, I think, now as it was a few years ago.
No, and especially amongst younger generations who are all
when the
having
economic
to do
crash
it.
happened to like lots of families everywhere sort of condensed.
Yeah.
But it was definitely for many, many years very frowned upon. So how is it in Ecuador, out of curiosity?
We have a question on the side here.
All right.
How did we get noticed to start getting commissions? They have trouble getting more people interested. Well, you know, we had a lot of prints. We had a very large print library, pretty broad and diverse selection of prints from a lot of different kinds of properties. So a lot of different kinds of people could find something to like about the work that we were doing.
When you actually have prints of different things, other people start asking you for stuff like, oh, you've got a print of this, that means you can do that.
Well, another
Because
thing,
otherwise, somehow I couldn't, but sure.
another thing that made a difference is we have a very distinctive style. And we made sure that all of our prints were representative of our style. We weren't trying to mimic anybody else. We weren't trying to make sure our work matched what we thought people expected the characters to look like. We just wanted it to look like us, so people got a really strong sense of our artistic voice when they looked at our portfolio. And for people who like to collect sketches, that really made an impact. That got them interested. They knew that if you get something from Comfort and Adam, it's going to look this level of good, and it's going to have a unique kind of voice to it. And if that's a voice they were interested in, then they became interested in us. Now, in fairness, I think when we were getting started back in the early aughts, back when we was just little kids basically,
Yes, we were quite young at the time.
when we were getting started, there was a much stronger art collecting community out there than there is right now.
Come on in. Question? Yeah. Do you need anything?
All your stuff for you and your interns are in the green bucket above the closet.
Okay. So all stuff for us and the interns.
So don't put our stuff in the
Okay.
shelf.
Everything goes in.
buckets.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And we have to keep it closed because nobody likes to be in there.
Okay. There we go. So Adam, if you heard all
All
of
stuff is-
the winter stuff, yes. So my dad gets on very big kicks.
He's very nervous about hoarding and stuff, even though we are far from in any danger of being hoarders. But he's very big on the spring cleaning, except he also does fall cleaning and summer cleaning. Just every so often he panics about how much stuff is in the house that it's just there. It's taking up space. It needs to go. So just because we're not using it right this second doesn't mean that it's just taking up space. But whatever. Stephen, yeah, you're speaking to it, really. It is a novel idea, this thing about being out on your own right away. It's a very recent idea as well. Even in American history, it didn't really exist as an expectation until the very recent past, like not until the 40s, 50s. I mean, it's really that soon. It was a post-depression thing in the boom that came after the war, this idea that you should go out on your own as soon as you can. But now that, wages are in the toilet and, people are struggling more and sort of having to stay at home more, taking longer to be able to get to a level where they can be financially secure, the idea of staying with family is coming back around again.
Yep.
And I think that's a fine thing.
Let's see here. So apparently Gazer lives with her parents, but actually they're not home right now. They're in Iowa till February. And let's see
You
here.
know what that means, Gazer.
Oh yeah.
Party!
Yep. And in Latin American families, it's totally normal to live with parents until 30.
There's some big
Yep.
families in Latin America too.
Yes.
That's the norm. Americans will usually stop at 1 or 2 kids, maybe 3. But Latin America, big families. The parents, the kids, the grandparents. Sometimes extended family too.
Sometimes it depends,
It depends.
but we're not the experts on the
No.
on this stream here. Both of us come from.
That's
Fair.
a smooth line.
Oh, did you make a nice line? Are you proud of yourself right now? You're
Got
pleased.
that hand control.
Good job, honey buns. Good job. All right, I'm almost at a part of this that I've been looking forward to, where this character has. It looks like, and Mara, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Like, does this character have like violet blue eyes? Like, is there something like? It looks to me when I look at your reference, like that there might be. It looks a little bit like. There's almost like a rainbow effect, or like Adam, when there's oil and water
Yeah.
and it gets a
Oh
rainbow.
yeah, the oil sheen.
Yeah,
The gasoline rainbow.
the gasoline rainbow. So I think I want to try and do an interesting effect with the eyes, but I want to make sure that I'm actually
That's
seeing
just-
things right. Did you get a problem with what you're doing over there, Mr. Withers?
I got cocky.
Oh no. I'm sorry, honey buns.
It's
Can
a
you pull
little
it
bit
back?
rough. I pulled it back some, but it's a little bit rough. Topic for everyone on the stream: what's everybody working on right now? Shadow's working on drawing comic strips for chapter 2 of their webtoon, and a fairy
Fantastic.
tale zombie apocalyptic picture. Jamie's
two.
working on a new pick for Disney Horror Toon series. Pictures where they mash up Disney characters with horror movie icons. This one is Donald Voorhees.
Well.
Stephen Ways, good to see you too. Well indeed. How are things going?
Alright, let's see here. Purple? Yeah, I'm seeing some violet. Are we from New York? No, we are here in Michigan, which is sort of, we call it the Midwest of America, of the United States. And we're in the state, and it looks like a mitten. It
The
looks
bit-
like this.
America's high five, we like
Yes.
to say.
Let's see here. Sounds like Gazer is still working on our characters. Keep up the good work there, Gazer. Well done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to color these eyes, and Maro, you're going to tell me if I'm right or wrong, because I'm not sure. So you're gonna take a look, and you're gonna say yay or nay on this, because I'm in a special situation where the person whom I am coloring their character is right here, and so I'm gonna go in. And I am going to get my color, get my blue, but I'm going to take it up into like a slightly purple-ish range. Because I want to give him some depth of field with the color of his eyes. Because I find his eyes very striking, this character.
Comf, could you do me a favor? You got
Yeah.
a ruler over there on the end table?
There's a ruler. Yes, I see it. That is looking lovely over there, honey bear.
Yeah, very nice. Almost done. Beautiful line
Hold on, I gotta rinse my face here. Just as a reminder, somebody's gonna win this Luna tonight. I don't know who, but somebody will. Alright. Let's see here. Wonders of an udon button.
Undo button.
Oh, undo, sorry. I don't know. I don't know why I did the udon button.
Because you like those noodles.
I guess I do
You
like
like
those
them noodles.
I'm a fan of the studio too. I like the udon studio.
Steven over here is working on character backgrounds, synopses, and scripting for the series. He's artist and he were planning to do for the webtoon contest, but life got in the way of that, so they're going to do it anyway. I mean, yes, never abandon a good idea, even if the initial circumstances change.
Yeah, that's right.
A good idea is a good idea.
Damned right. Alright. So I'm trying to add in a little bit of color and texture to these eyes. And I'm going to add in just a little bit of this pink violet, I think, too.
Feeling like I should have done these Nouveau lines with the blue pen.
No. You know, that blue pen is
Just a little
going
heavy.
to run out at some point.
I know, we need to get new color pens.
I don't know where to get those because I don't think they sell them anymore.
Sure they do.
They do? Maybe if they do, maybe somebody somewhere has got refills for the color ones.
Well, I don't know if they get refills. We'll probably just have to buy new pens. But we go through them so slowly that it's not going to kill us.
Alright. So I
We've had
am
these for years.
going to add a layer here that's blush and highlights. I'll just do blush on one layer. And then I'm going to do a layer here for highlights. And then tomorrow I'm quick checking. Did you send me? She did! Alright. I think that's going to work. I think I can make something of this. So I'm going to quick download the picture that Maro gave me. So kind. Bring this in here. Okay, this is going to give me a sense of my backdrop. I'm going to cheat things just a little bit because I like cheating things just a little bit. So I'm going to see what I do here. Yeah, yes.
So Steven's asking how happy I am that Luna won the poll and I get to draw her. The answer, Steven, is extremely. I'm extremely happy. I love this character so much and she's so cute to draw. I was thinking about doing a quickie small print of Luna, Ginny, and Hermione as like a Harry's Angels kind of thing. Don't know if there's enough demand, but I would love it. But people have really liked, especially Luna and Ginny in our Potter print. People have really responded to those two.
There's a lot of people who are like, that's Ginny?
Ginny? And we're like, yeah, that's
It's
Ginny.
100%, you guys.
Girl is sassy pants. Go back and reread her scenes, especially when she starts becoming more of a character in the later books. Girl is not to be messed with.
Alright, I'm also going to get in my art help. I have a whole thing for textures, and I'm going to get some skies, so I want to do a sky here. And I want to get a nice sort of sunset sky. So that's what I'm looking for. Which one to choose? Which one to choose? You know what? I am going to choose this guy. So I'm going to make this a backdrop. I'm going to put it under here.
What is a character adopt?
What?
Oh yeah, character adopts. I don't get it. I don't get it. A character adopt, for people who are not aware, is when an artist will just draw up some cutesy little characters and you can pay to adopt them and the character
What?
becomes yours. You're
What?
basically buying a character design. An artist just does a bunch of character designs, just like lines up a whole page with them and puts them up for adoption, they call it. And you can buy that character and they're yours. You have adopted the character. It's just a cutesy way of referring to an organized purchase of a character design. And I guess now saying it out loud, I kind of do get it. If you like having characters and you want to tell stories, but you're not necessarily great at doing drawing and stuff yourself, you might see one of these adopts and be like, no, that's the perfect look for this character I wanted to write. And if I just adopt this character here, then I can use them for my story. So it kind of makes sense with those. But it's just the way that they frame it, the way that they phrase it can sometimes feel a little weird. A little like, what are they talking about? I think it definitely falls under the category of kids these days kind of thing. You know what I mean.
There you go, that makes sense.
Alright, let me do the color. I think I'm going to start with the background. So that I know what that's going to feel like.
Alright, another thing I'm doing is color overlay on this. And I'm going to give this sort of a warm color. Where's my overlay?
Alright, I'm going to need to have something that... Whoop,
Don't drop your stuff.
I didn't. It slid, but I caught it.
Good job.
Be able to test some colors here.
If you need help from me at all, let me know, sir.
Until I get to the skin, I don't think.
So I'm giving this like a little bit of a slight sunset feel. So you can see what I'm doing here. I'm gonna need this light. A quick look back at the stream. Let's see here.
Thank you, Shadow. I appreciate that. Stephen Wings, yeah, it has been a long time since we caught you in the stream. Things are going great. Things are going good. We're having a good time. We're in the realm of our more serious work. We're making a lot of progress on a new season of Uniques. We're really excited with that.
Yes, we are very excited with that. Alright. Right now, I've almost got issue 12 set for my part of the writing. Then Adam's going to get it back, and Adam's going to see what he does.
We are potentially just a draft or two away from having issue 12 all written. Issue 11 is off with the editors right now, getting work done, or reviewed. We're having some new editors joining us this time because the subject matter for season 2 of Uniques is such that we wanted to have people with an editorial voice in our process who could hold our feet to the fire better as regards some of this stuff. We want our characters to feel authentic. We want to be able to deal with serious and heavy, like real topics. Not ripped from the headlines kind of stuff, but real shit. These characters are going to... We want to deal with heroes in a real world. And that means we've got to deal with some real world problems. And so we're trying to make sure that we always have an editorial team that can
is
help,
capable.
they can help make sure that we are doing so in a fair and honest kind of way. Because there's a lot of things that you don't know what you don't know. And we don't want to run afoul of that and accidentally shortchange these stories without realizing it. There've already been a handful of small things that were caught for us that's like we were so focused on what was going on over here that we never noticed that mistake over there, you know what I mean?
And yes, it is very nice. Like, I like all the effects and stuff that are happening here, Gazer. Like, it's looking really good. Like, I think we're gonna have something really cool on our hands, and hopefully fans of Morrow's will enjoy this. I'll have to show off the image that Morrow did for us of Kid Quick. Alright. So I've got this much here. Got my highlights. I'm going to do my blush. So I'm going to just select the skin again. I'm going to go in my blush layer. I'm going to add in a little bit of blush to make this feel a little bit warmer, a little cozier. I'm going to bring down my flow a little bit too, so I'm not going to do, I had it up way too high really, but I'm going to take it all the way down to 3 for now. Oh, good, pre-sketch is done, fantastic. Good to hear. Alright. So how's your pre-color stuff coming, Mr. Withers?
I mean, it's not pre-color.
Are you on the color now?
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing the background, but it's for real color.
Are you liking how it's looking so far?
So far, so good.
So I want to say for everybody who
I
might not
agree.
have been here last night, that since we're not going to New York, commissions are not just open, but then we are also giving everybody a coupon for our store for
Yes.
25% off.
If you go to our
anything they
Big
want.
Cartel store, that's Comfort and Adam at bigcartel.com,
I can always give a link.
and you enter the coupon code No NY for us, like number 4 us, No NY for us. Enter that code and you get 25% off your entire order. That's prints, that's comics, that's everything. We don't get to go to New York, but that doesn't mean that you have to miss out on Comfort and Adam.
That is right. Alright, here we go.
I'm gonna tilt this camera up because I feel like I keep wanting to work off screen.
Alright, I am going to do the color on the goggles. Quick, get that set. Weren't quite done correctly for the flats from the interns. And I should have fixed it before, but I didn't.
Our kids, they try.
They really do try. We love them so much. Alright, here we go. And this and this. Alright. There we go. Now I can I'm gonna get a hard edge brush for this one. Give myself a little bit light and shadow here. There we go. Excellent. And yes, Gazer, there is a coupon. Let me put the coupon.
You just have to put in the code when you're doing your checkout.
End. Yes. Let's see here. This is the code. If you put this code in at our store, here we go.
I'll enter it over here.
It's whale. Open up the commissions. Here we go. And here's a link to the store. Yep, no New York for us. You are correct. You got our joke there, Morrow. All right. There we go. Get my color that I want. Always moving things up and to the left when I do this. So what are you doing over there, Adam, and why?
I am coloring in the midnight sky. Because she's Luna friggin' Lovegood, and so Luna needs the moon.
We have a very, what would you say, Adam? Is it a Art Nouveau type background?
Sort of, yeah. Didn't go all in on it. It's sort of a compromise. I had two ideas. One, I was going to have her sitting on a windowsill, and I was going to have those like diamond-shaped slats across, and the night was going to be behind that. But the other was to do this Art Nouveau thing and just build the whole thing as a kind of Nouveau piece. But I kind of liked, I couldn't decide which one I liked more, so
you did a little column A,
a little of both,
column
yeah.
B.
Sometimes that's how it works out.
How it shakes down. And I'm on the right layer. Good.
Let's see. Shadow, yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and share it. If you're working on something, a new cover for Chapter 2, throw it up. And I'm sorry if you're getting some buffering, guys. Our internet service here is passable at best, and sometimes that hurts the stream quality.
All right. I am going to
I am seeing that I've got a little bit of frame drop going on my side. It's not terrible, but it's going to be enough to be noticeable.
I'm going to do a slight filter on my background here. Just a slight Gaussian blur. Not this much. This is too much. I want to feel like this stuff fades. There we go. And now I want to put in, I think, a little bit of colorizing of lines and just a little bit of texture. So I'm going to go back to my textures and I'm going to get a wood. I'm going to bring this up, sort of a plank wood. Copy that. And then bring this in here. There's my width. There we go. And I'm gonna paste this into, so paste special, paste into. I'm gonna give this a little bit, like I said, just a tad bit of texture. I'm gonna put this on overlay. There we go. So now that has just a little bit more to it. And then I think the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to colorize these lines. So I'm going to lock down the transparency. I'm going to get my brush tool and I am going to get a darker version like the hair and stuff. And I'm going to start filling this in. So I'm going to get a nice like chestnut brown. So all of his hair is going to get this nice chestnut brown.
One thing that I've been learning, guys, as I've been working with this marker, I'm only saying this because I'm feeling it right now, is you have got to be willing to be bold. You cannot be effective at traditional art if you're timid. These colors I'm dropping in on this moon feel way too strong.
But you
I
gotta
have to
go
trust.
with it.
I have to trust. They're gonna fade down. They're gonna push back a little bit. This is going to work.
Strength, honey, strength.
But if you don't go bold, if you don't go big on it, it's not gonna come out right.
I'm so proud of you.
But that just comes from practice. It comes from doing it enough that you develop an amount of confidence in what you're doing. Confidence that these things, I can see how I sort of fade them out here, blend them out.
No, as much as I like his blonde eyelashes in Morrow style, I don't think that's gonna work here. The hair can get that, but
You're gonna go for the Thranduil effect.
sure. Well, his eyebrows are lighter. Also thinking of having him like say something cute on the side, because he has this little thing in the comic where he's always like, "Hey, stranger," and that's why the comic is
Nice.
Stranger. Wah wah. So, just a thought that I have. Alright. I'm gonna do this, and then for the skin, I think I'm gonna do something where I'm giving it just a little bit of a ruddy red.
I also know I'm going to be bringing highlights back on this later, so it can be just a little bit more dark right now. I'm gonna pull it back.
There we go. There we go. Tiny little details. Alright. Tiny things in the ears as well.
Brave and bold wings, yes. Both Green Lantern and the Flash.
I love you.
Sorry, that in the old DC Comics, Brave and the Bold was a team-up series, but it frequently included Green Lantern and the Flash. Often the lead characters teaming up together.
They did some
Jamie
Superman
posted up the
and Batman's.
cover to their new chapter. Cute, cute. I like it. I like how you're beating up those boxes with your color. Fun expressions too.
Or link here? I missed
Yeah.
it.
No Kappa emote. What will you do? Oh, you'll make it somehow.
That is a cute cover, and it works for Webtoon.
It sure does.
Alright, here we go. Alright, I think that's it. So a little bit of colorizing of the lines. Cute character. Alright. So save that up, and then my next real things will be figuring out how I do the advertising and stuff with this. How do I get people interested in going to Maro's comic? Like, hopefully this will be enough. But I think I want to make like a little ad too that, you know, shows her style and what she does and all that kind of jazz. So, yeah. Alright. Well, I am mostly set with my thing here. You are not set with your
Oh,
thing
no.
there. Oh, no.
Heavens no.
Not by a ways. And thank you so much, Gazer. Glad you like it. We're really trying to do something fabulous. So I think my next thing is going to be, how do I put together the Webtoon stuff? Which I'm not sure on. I think I need a little bit more like time to think. Because like I said, I want to have some sort of text here, and then I want to have, you know, some sort of ad, some, you know, sort of admonition and stuff that gets people going. So that all kind of remains to be seen. I really want him to have freckles, but I don't know if he has freckles, so I'll leave it off. Alright. Winsley is here. I didn't know, so that's awesome. That's the Steven in this
Yeah.
game. Well, thank you. Winsley is a patron. How kind of him. At $10. Holy smokes. Well, that means that right now on Patreon, we are now only $130 away from doing 2 of these a month. Jeez, we could be doing Mrs. Frizzle right now too, Mr. Withers.
That's true.
We are so close. And once we hit the next thing, the next goal, people who are at $10 will be entered into the runner-up drawing. So the runner-up drawing will be a quick color marker sketch, and the main drawing will be a full marker sketch. So that's what Adam is working on right now. So if we make it, if by any chance, tomorrow is the 30th, if somehow magically we make it that $130 more a month, we will do Mrs. Frizzle. I don't know what will happen. Maybe a miracle. We'll see. But Steven, that's awesome of you. Thank you so much for your support. That means a lot to us. All right. So, what I'm going to do, I think, we are being asked if we're going to be doing prints, Adam, of these images here that we make.
I don't know.
I would say is these here will either A, go in a sketchbook, or B, if we make it to the next goal after this one that we're $130 away from, if we make it to the next goal, it means that everybody every month who's at $25 will get one free print, and that's of anything they want. So they could be getting Luna or Wheeler or another sketch, because there's a lot of people who see sketches they do and they want a print of it, but we don't make prints of those.
Not typically, no.
No, no.
Because the quality of color we can produce on one of these just isn't really the same as what we would want to do on a print.
But that would be something special for patrons, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the idea, is you can get prints of things we would never make prints of.
Alright, I am going to switch, nope, not my Bumblebee mic, my Unova capture to my other display. Come on. Thank you. Alright. I'm going to switch this over here, and I am going to bring my Photoshop over here, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to start opening up other... Question is, am I going to do more lettering, or am I going to do more arranging of webtoons? That's really, because that's the rest of my night. Other than putting together a structure for this, which I'm not 100% sure of exactly yet.
Oh, man. Yeah, I know. You're so used to your little Kappas. Well, Shadow, we appreciate it.
Alright, I am going to go and I'm going to start fixing up my Webtoons text here that the interns did for me. That is what I'm doing. And thank you, Gazer. Glad you like it. And Gazers, calling it a night. I understand this is a long night, so for anybody who just can't quite make it through, that's totally fine. How's that background and stuff coming, Mr. Withers?
I'm about done with the marker on it.
We might not do all of this tonight, just I couldn't do the whole Wheeler, if I remember correctly. I tried my best, but
it's a lot. It's a lot to do in one go.
Yeah, the ink to the color. Grayscale is one thing, but the color takes a while.
I'm really feeling like we have just a lack of adequate shades of blue. Just overall, there are not enough. We need a lot more transitional tones than we have. It is frustrating me right now.
I'm sorry.
There's, like, I can't, there's very dark, there's light, and there's very light, but there's not like a medium, there's not a medium dark, so I just don't have enough tones to transition with. I can't, it's hard for me to get a quality blend here.
You want me to come and see where you're at, Mr. Withers?
I don't have anything in between where I need to go.
Alright. And Maro's going out here. Thank you for showing up.
Thanks for
Much
hanging out. We
appreciated.
hope you like the piece.
Yes. We will talk more soon, Maro. That's looking great.
It's looking okay, but I have nothing in between this blue and this blue. Nothing.
I think we kind of have to take it to some degree in the way that we did the color, if you remember, for the Copic sketch, like the color of Copic thing. We just have to blend it with other things.
I'm doing my best, but I don't have good blenders for it either.
I find my favorite blender for the blues are these very light guys, these two.
Yeah, but they have green in them, and that's the problem. That one might have.
That one I think will
maybe,
be fine.
but
There's no green in that one.
That's what you say.
Well, that's
But
what
this
it
is a
says
very
on the
delicate balance.
thing. I know.
The other
I
one
know.
doesn't say that it's green either, but it's got some green in it.
Well, at least it states that it's B0000 rather than BG00.
Yeah, I know. And the other one says it's B01, but it is green as shit.
No, I'm sorry, honey. My apologies to you.
Doing the best I can.
All right.
Only as good as my blenders, and so I feel like I'm getting a weird, like, dirty thing happening where some of it is almost feeling like brown. Not getting that crisp blue sky that I wanted to create.
I think this is going to turn out better than your current nervousness right now. I know you pretty well.
We'll see.
Is there a single tear going on here? And poor
I
little
know,
bear.
right? Yeah, it's just the background. If the background doesn't work perfectly, it's not the end of the world. It's just disappointing. Just disappointing.
All right. So I am go back. Apparently this is so laggy that it appears like magic when you do the color edit. Yeah. And
Yeah,
apparently
see,
Shadow's
like
in it
this
for the long haul.
Has an extreme delay right now. You are way behind where I'm at. I'm sorry, you guys. I don't know why it's being so bad.
Wish there was a way, because Twitch is an incredible streaming service. I wish there was a way to do this through Twitch where you could have
Yeah,
a
but it doesn't
lockdown
work
thing.
that way.
It does not work that way, no.
Twitch just don't have them options.
Yep. The interns keep not separating.
What?
They keep not separating things properly. And I do not know how they are accidentally linking things. Our interns, God love them, but they mess up stuff. So I'm having to redo several of these tails and these bubbles and stuff because I just can't quite get it. Boy, do they try, but it's hard for them. Alright. Mr. Withers, what else is going on? We're doing a lot of talking about season 3 for Unique today, weren't we?
We were talking a lot about season 3. We're writing season 2, and we're already spending a lot of time talking about what we want to do with the next season.
Well,
Planning way ahead.
you have to plan way ahead. And also, at a certain point, you kind of don't have anything more to talk about with season 2. It
True.
just has to be written. So what are you on to now for your drawing, honey bear?
Bringing in some of the highlights for the background layer. I want to know how this is going before I move on to the next.
Before you commit to something else? I'm over here trying to figure out how I'm going to arrange some talk bubble stuff from the TV. Alright. When Adam is really concentrating, he gets quiet.
Because I'm really concentrating. What do you expect?
Would you, Mr. Withers, like to put on a podcast of something or something like that? Just to allow yourself to sort of concentrate more?
I don't know.
No?
I don't know.
I can tell Adam this is very important to him. He is trying to figure out how to get this done. I'm gonna come peek over your shoulder really fast.
You're just gonna tell me it looks fine.
I'm gonna tell you, yes, this looks so much better than you think it does, and you need to not be as worried. And I think that's really, really good advice. Because this background itself is a gorgeous piece of art.
That's the advice that you always give.
Uh-huh.
Don't worry so much. I wouldn't be this good if I didn't worry so much.
Okay.
Worrying and working hard to overcome in the past is what made me good like this.
I would just say this does not have to be the be-all, end-all. And I think you will be fine when you get to the Luna part.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about Luna. That's why I'm putting the effort in here because Luna's gonna be fine.
So when you're working on something different like this that you've never done before, it's just going to be difficult.
Well, I mean, I've done clouds before. I've just never had to do them like this. You know, I know how to do them digitally, but I feel like I'm not making these look like clouds. It's just sort of random splotchiness.
And you guys who are watching Adam's stream can tell that forever you will be nervous about your drawing. You will never get over it to some degree. This is not just Adam, this is a thing that people do. They get nervous about what they're doing, however good it is. You know, it's really hard to accept your creations and to accept that they might be good enough. But you know what, honey? I love you very much. And I do love your dedication. And you know that you're my favorite, right?
You say that.
I do say that. I'm not just blowing smoke up your ass. I think you're incredible. And I love you. And this is a very good picture. So, Mr. Bear, do you want me to find other subjects to talk about? Or do you need a little bit of a break so you can think about what you're doing? Adam's reading the stream.
Yeah, see, there's some talk on
I will bring things up for the talk. Yes, delay, I know. And so, remember the comic strip we got commissioned for by the manager of the local band? Yes. We met the full band last night, and they absolutely love the comic strip. They want us to do more in the future. That's fantastic.
Good for you
Well
guys.
done, Jason and Jamie. Good job. And Steven's saying, really like seeing Stormy Brown in our season 2 drawings.
Yeah. We wanted a face that could be
Very
Kind.
thoughtful and
a face that could be
Cunning.
could be very expressive, but that could do a terrifying intensity. Could go from laughing to scaring the shit out of you in a single move.
so the picture that you were seeing, Wingsply was the main bad guy for season 2, like the main villain character. But I think he's going to be a really different and interesting kind of character, and all the characters won't come into conflict till the very, very end of the story. So Deshade is going to be really background, and if we keep Deshade's name, I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
that's his
we're looking at
placeholder
shit,
name.
right?
We are considering
Looking at the name.
changing it. By the way, I have to apologize to Stephen because we won't be, at least as of now, we won't be at Emerald City. And that's because they did not send us a email telling us when Artist Alley opened up. So we are trying to get a dealer's table
We have
in,
been trying to get a dealer's
Yes.
table for a long time.
but I don't know if that will happen or not. I hope it does, but I don't know. So the best thing anybody can do for any cons that we're not a part of is
Talk to the
talk
show.
to the show.
And make sure they know that you want to see us there.
It was a really unfortunate situation.
We'll be really disappointed if we don't get to go. Emerald City is one of our absolute favorites. See how these highlights I'm bringing to the moon are lightening it up again? That's why I knew I was going to be okay when it got a little on the dark side. Yeah, dark side.
Wah wah. Alright. I am going to try and make for myself some little jaggedy bubbles here, or jaggedy tails.
Alright.
How's your zoning going, honey?
Time for me to head into the girl. To start here.
Alright. So is this where we find out if your light pen works out, Mr. Withers?
Yeah. Choosing the warm gray was a risk. How it's going to look with the yellow. Let's see.
Adam, I am going to end the stream for...
Twitch.
Yes.
Alright. You're done with your art anyway.
I'm done. I'm just doing something that's not nearly as fascinating to look at. Not going the way that you wanted?
This yellow had a little green in it.
Well, luckily this stuff is easy to scrub out. Do you want a blotter paper by you?
I have blotter paper by me. I did
Sorry, this color is frustrating you. Sugar.
Color's always frustrating to me. I'm not nearly good enough at color that I can feel.
I tend to be a little bit more comfortable with the color markers than Adam is.
I'm like that with most color though. I'm also like this anytime I'm working on a piece that I care about. The more excited I am to get to draw a thing, the more nervous I get about how.
Want to talk about what happens to you when you finally get to have a day to do anything?
I panic and I do nothing. I spend all day worrying about whether I'm making good use of this extremely rare free time. And I get so panicked over whether I'm using my time properly that I wind up not actually doing anything. And then the whole day is gone and I haven't spent any of it on anything fun. I've just been worried the whole time.
My sugar bear.
God damn it. There are still a bunch of markers that were way overfilled. When we went to our big 2-week convention trip, Comfort was so worried about whether our markers would run out while we were gone that she insisted on grossly overfilling every single one of them, just in case.
I stand by my choice.
Yeah, well, the result is every now and then I'm working with a marker and it's fine, and then it just starts bleeding like
Yep,
crazy.
it does bloop. Definitely bloops.
Question is, do I have any light yellows I can use? I don't know if I do. They're all gonna be, well, this is okay. See how the lines are starting to fade a little bit? And just starting to sort of feel like they're part of the color? That was the effect I was hoping for. That's why I drew them with a warm gray instead of a black. Wanted this to be more silvery, but we don't have enough colors to make that possible.
You could probably use some of the warm grays too. Will work.
No, not now.
No?
They just look gray.
Okay.
Frankly. I was thinking about maybe using sandy earth tone. Calm down that yellow a little bit. But the bigger issue is there's just a lot more color on this than I wanted it to be much more white overall.
I think
That's
you
me
can.
overdoing it because I don't know what I'm doing.
I think one of the things that you can do with it is that you can easily use a lot of white paint pen and the other, what is it, the charcoal
Yes.
pencil, and that'll do the trick. That's oftentimes what I have to end up doing. And so glad you like it, Rachel. And the sky is crazy awesome.
Thank you.
And apparently Shadow's comic strip is done, and now he is working on Fairy Tale Apocalypse.
Nice.
That is fantastic. And as I said, any kind of subject or anything people want to bring up, let us know. I think
Yeah, we
Adam's
don't
a
really
little
have
bit
anything
less
planned on it.
anxiety time for.
I'm a little zoned out working on this, so I'm not as good at starting conversation.
Yep. So that's why we need your guys' help. Throw out anything. Whether you're
Topicizes.
watching a new anime, or you're reading something, or you're watching something, or you heard something in the news, whatever, bring it up. We'll talk. getting water. That's why I got quiet for just a moment.
Yeah, I should have a drink or something.
You should. You have cider
I
and
know
you
I
have
do.
water.
I just always forget. I get so busy.
If you guys hadn't figured this out about Adam yet, Adam gets in the zone,
I get super focused.
has a
Like,
hard time.
Everything fades away.
I sure do love you, Sugar Bear. So what are we doing? Like, what are our shows and stuff that we're watching and we're enjoying?
There honestly aren't many right now. We're doing so much writing that we're not
getting to watch as
getting
many
into
shows.
very much.
We could talk about Penny Dreadful and how spectacularly, awesomely,
how
like,
it's pretty
fun.
much just somebody's White Wolf tabletop campaign that they converted into a TV show.
But it's spectacularly done.
It's
White
pretty. It's some
Wolf
pretty
tabletop.
wonderful trash.
It is wonderful trash.
It's totally trashy, but we really enjoy it.
I really do. And I thought I watched that and I say to myself, man, that is what they could have made that Dark World stuff for Universal. But no, they had some weird pseudo.
What if we do a
superhero-
sexy mummy instead?
Yeah, I just thought,
Have
no.
Tom Cruise running.
Yes, a lot of Tom Cruise running. Like, I like all the characters on it.
Yes. Oh, very good.
I'm never like, pass.
Yeah, there's nobody I really don't like.
And usually in those things, like, there's a solid half of the cast that is just like,
Just
whatever.
sort of
Because it's
there.
somebody's, wet dream of some vampire character or whatever.
Yeah, these things are always such a toss-up.
Mm-hmm. Are we talking about the Bowser thing? Is this how we say the
No.
Bowser thing?
Bowsette. Yes, we've heard of
Bowsette.
Bowsette. I was just explaining
yes.
Bowsette to Comfort today, actually.
I saw, I looked back and I had seen a Bowsette on one of the groups that we're part of on Facebook,
Of course,
and I
Comfort
didn't
had
know what
no
it was.
clue what she was looking at.
No, I was just like, that's some really nice coloring, man. And then I looked back, I was like, what? Yeah, that's a phenomenon. The internet loves these things, doesn't it? The internet has a way of finding something fascinating and just running with it. And it's not like the most fascinating thing in the whole wide world.
No, but it perfectly hits a lot of sweet spots for the modern internet.
Yes. Or were they like, it's a meme.
It's a meme.
Okay.
It's video game related. That helps.
Yep.
It's fetishy and porny, but not in such a way that it can only be fetish porn. So a lot of people can work on it and sort of like giggle along with the fact that they're drawing their fetish without having to tell people. It's in the trans spectrum. Male to female TG stuff people really like doing. It's headcanony as hell. It's all of these things that the internet loves all at once.
So it's the perfect thing. One of my favorite
It
things
is.
you showed me was taking the meme of Bowsette and adding it to other memes. So
Yeah.
like it's a Russian nesting doll of memes. And I thought, hilarious. Thank you, modern day internet. There are some things that I'm like, oh god damn it. Like the amount of vile trash and hate on the internet.
Every
like,
time we're ready
really
to
gets me
give up
down.
on the internet, it does something
Yeah.
to us back.
So I'm like, yay, Bowsette. You know what? Bowsette for me, that's the internet. All the other stuff is like the internet being bogarted by trash people who are trying
That's
to
not
be
what the
jerks.
internet really is.
Hmm?
But that's not what the internet really is.
What?
The trash people?
The trash people? No, it's not the trash people. The trash people come and ruin everybody's party because the party is things like Bowsette. That's the internet. I don't like people ruining my internet experience with other, like, jerky trash. I'm just not a big fan. I get a little upset. Can't help it. Whew. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to do a little yawning there. Gracious. So you're feeling better about what you're doing now, Honey Bear? Yeah, that's an Adam response. Alright, I'm going back to the stream. Let's see here. Yeah, the designs aren't bad. The designs
Some
are
of
cute.
them are really nice. Yeah, there's been several that I've really liked. And a lot of really good art has been made for it.
Yes. This is what we would do if we had like infinite time.
Oh, we would
time.
totally be on top of this.
Yes.
Yeah.
If we eventually have our minions just making comics for us, and mostly we are internet hype machines, we would.
What a world. What a world that would be.
If other things are successful, that's not. That kind of just becomes our job.
Yeah.
Is making YouTube videos, internet hype machine, getting everybody ready, writing the stories, doing covers, doing layouts. That's our future. If things go how they potentially could go. But to do all the internet hype and everything, you have to have like quite the team behind you. So to do the rest of all the other comic stuff. Internet hype, holy crap. It's a lot harder than it used to be, you guys.
Sure is.
Yeah. You used to be able to post something and have all the people who liked it see it. Not anymore. It's mostly like, have you paid that company?
Oh yeah. It is all about them trying to monetize.
Mm-hmm. Alright, there is a personal question. Have you guys ever gotten a commission request that was inappropriate?
Yeah.
Earlier on in our careers.
Yeah.
Yep.
We've
Mm-hmm.
received the occasional not safe for work request.
And there are plenty of times that we were asked to come and work for basically porn companies. They would see our art and they'd say, you know what this would be great for. And then we'd go and we'd be like, oh my god! Like, it was the kind of porn which was just like veiny penises everywhere. And I was like,
Gross.
I don't know if I can be a part of this. But this was like a long time ago. Because mostly like when somebody asks for, you know, anything big, I get to say, hey, I have some other people you could talk to. Because that's not something we're going to do right now. But that's why we have interns.
I would never take those. I've never.
Oh, no. We never, I don't even point other people towards porn because, you know, that's a special decision that any artist has to make for themselves.
Yeah.
I'm never like, hey, kids.
But I mean, in the past, even there have been times where Comfort would say yes to that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Because she
I never
wanted the
did.
money.
Well, I never did veiny penis.
No, not that
I've
heavy,
done my fair share of two girls kissing hotly with boobs almost all the way showing. And people pay well, and I'm like, well, sure.
but that's why it's a trap, because it pays so well.
It is. But
I've never done any of that stuff because I can't, because I'm a guy.
yes, I am classy somehow.
If a girl does that kind of art, then like it's sort of avant-garde and ooh, it's fancy, it's edgy. She's doing
Look at what I've done.
Yeah.
Empowerment.
It's classy. If a guy does the same identical piece, he's gross, he's a pervert, he's sexist or whatever. I just never wanted to open myself up to accusations that I'm somehow that guy.
Adam has a lot of anxiety of being that guy.
I do. I have to. I have to be extremely careful. As a straight white man, I am the enemy. People are rightfully going to be, hesitant to trust me all the way. I get it. I understand, and you are correct to be a little hesitant. There's some things I can't really do. Other people might be able to, but I can't. I'm not bemoaning it. I don't miss somehow like, oh, if only I could draw more nudity. Oh, my poor life. Just means if I want to be taken seriously, I have to be careful about the stuff that I say yes to. I've known that for a long time.
There's plenty of that guy.
There are so many of that guy out there. You have to be extremely cautious now.
Alright, I'm going back onto the street. How do we deal with when we get things?
Those kinds of requests?
We politely decline.
Yeah, now we do politely decline. It's a personal choice you have to make, but I think at the end of the day, nobody's going to think less of you if you just politely say, this isn't. Sorry, we don't do that kind of thing. Nobody's gonna think that's weird. Nobody's gonna question that choice.
People are pretty.
They understand.
They're pretty cool with things.
I don't think there's anybody going around requesting pornographic sketches who's not used to being told no.
Yes. There was a naughty sketch that we were requested at Emerald City, and that naughty sketch I had to really tone down and make kind of a giggle pants piece instead.
Because giggle pants is okay.
I am accepting of giggle pants. Giggle pants is
Who's
mine.
gonna be weird about giggle pants?
I like the giggle pants, like stuff for like Adam Hughes's sexy but funny things.
Yeah, sexy cute. That's not a problem. We'll do sexy cute, but when somebody's like, "How raw are you willing to get?" I'm like, "Not raw enough for you, I promise." I'm gonna stop you right there, friend.
This is not gonna work out.
I can already tell you and I are gonna need to part ways.
Yep. Alright, oops. You know what's nice? The computer isn't lagging like it was the other day.
That is nice.
Ah, it's wonderful. It's a glorious thing when your computer isn't taking 10,000 years to get something done. You are, just letting you know, you've got your 20 minutes from turning into a pumpkin.
Alright.
You know what I'm doing?
What's that?
I'm doing the lettering section for the first like big TF3 appearance when they're with their plane. Ah, we're doing so much stuff with shards, you guys, this season. It's so awesome. Season 2. And getting to see our season 1 shards. I'm like, you're gonna be so great, season 2.
Shards is gonna be quite the character.
Shards has always been intended to be quite the character.
Yeah, it's been a slow burn to get him here, but the intention was always to make Shards an important member of the cast.
You know, the whole time I was on Twitch, nobody cared.
Care what?
that I had, sorry, nobody cared that I had Harry Potter music in the background.
I don't know that we would notice immediately. And they're not going to catch you every time. Just because they don't catch you the one time doesn't mean.
I'm not saying we're
You
going to
should
do
have
Harry
no
Potter
concern.
music every time.
Just throw caution to the wind.
I'm not going to throw caution to the wind. We will do our regular other music. Next time we stream on Wednesday, I promise. This will be a thing.
God damn it! God
It's okay.
fucking giant. Oh, comfort. Why did you insist on
Here we go.
overfilling
Here we
these
go.
markers?
Here we go.
It's too late.
I
It's
can.
too late.
Okay, I'll let it go.
Give me this. I'll get up what I can. Never overfill your markers, ladies and gentlemen. You will ruin a good piece.
Don't worry, it will be fine.
I can work around it. It might be saved, but this. Oh my god.
It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. That's why Copic markers are great, because once you have something that's a little bit like that, you just scrub it in and no one's ever the wiser. It's fine.
This is not going to go away. We'll see what happens. I'll have to come back to it when it's not soaking wet through the page. If I keep working that area right now, I'm in risk of putting a hole in the paper and ruining everything and having to start over. So I'll just move on to something else, and hopefully I can come back around and fix that later.
It's already drying. It's alright. You're doing a great job, honey. And whoever gets this piece is going to be very lucky indeed.
Yeah, we'll see. Or they'll have Luna
Oh.
with the weird giant skin condition.
Oh, honey, I love you. My poor bear. That's right, the magic pumpkin. It'll be orange for a minute and a half.
It's gonna be orange the rest of the time. I don't think there's gonna be any fixing it. I'll have to like go over it with the white and just hope that I can cover it up so much that nobody notices.
I'm pretty sure it can be fixed. I've
I
seen.
know you've said that several times.
It's alright. It's
Let's see
alright.
what happens. I do not have your faith.
I have done so many things in Copic marker that you think are the worst, and like it'll never do this or that or the other thing. And the magic of Copic marker is that you can use a lighter color to scrub it enough that it just distributes that color and it's not blotchy or anything anymore. Alright, I'm going back to the feed here. So, let's see here. I'm going to bring up another topic of conversation. So, since it's Halloween, Adam, what were your favorite things? And this goes to the people who are watching the stream. What is everybody's favorite thing that they've ever dressed up as on Halloween? Like, what's your favorite costume you've ever worn?
Probably a Flash costume that my mom made me way back. I was a very little kid, like 6th grade. It was pretty friggin' amazing.
Now, was this the costume you had to wear with a coat?
I had to wear a bunch of stuff under it. And that's why I like it better than the Robin costume that I got the next year, or that we made the next year, because my mom made all of my Halloween costumes. Yeah, the Robin costume didn't really work well because I had to wear a coat underneath it, and that sucked.
You wore it underneath and not over top?
Or I had to wear a coat over top on the night, and I had, like, she sewed sleeves into the Robin costume, so I had flesh-colored sleeves. I just felt so dumb. It's like, that is not how it works, Mom. And she's like, well, you're gonna get cold. I'm like, I'd rather be cold and awesome. Trust me, I will not care about the cold.
That was always your attitude. That's still Adam's attitude today. Like, if he can look better but go through some pain, he will do that. Were you happy at least on the night?
As Robin, yeah, I mean, you know, sure, it was still an awesome costume. I still really liked it. It wasn't as cool as my Flash costume because I couldn't hide the, I couldn't wear the extra padding underneath the suit.
Some of these little connectors are so thin. Oh, girls. Oh, our interns. They try very hard. This is one of my favorite little pieces for the Harry Potter music.
We also don't have enough pinks. Nice sort of dusky pink. That's not super gonna work out. It's gonna be okay, but I can't get it. I don't have a light enough tone that I can go up to. So it's gonna wind up a little more violet than I wanted. That'll work okay. I was hoping to get a little more color contrast with all the blues. By this pink going deeper into a violet area, it's going to become more a part of the blues. It's not terrible. I mean, it's like just sort of talking about sharing the process as I go.
I think one of the difficulties is too, like getting used to color markers, is figuring out the limitations and then how to get around those limitations.
Yeah.
One knee. Come here, one knee. One knee. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come on. Yeah, you're just gonna cry. Come
Sounds
on.
like her.
Yeah. Yeah. You're a good girl. I know. I know. She's a good girl. There we go. Yes. This is a different cat who's crying now. This is one of the cats who's happy to stay in. Versus the other one who's always having a conniption fit staying in. Yeah, she's a good morning. Yes, Winnykins. Alright, so Adam, what's your favorite candy to get on Halloween?
Snickers.
Would
It
you
used to be
always-
Milky Way, but in the first place, I grew to enjoy the taste of nuts a little more, and in the second place, Milky Way is way too rich now. Snickers has a little bit more balance of sweetness. Although I might like a Mounds more. 'Cause I
Today
love
than
coconut.
Snickers?
No, I've always loved Mounds. I think Mounds was. I love
When you
Mounds,
were-
and that was actually super advantageous to me because nobody likes Mounds as a little kid. People on the stream might recall this. kids don't tend to like coconut very much. So liking mounds meant I could trade kids candy I don't want and get a really good exchange rate for the candy that I did want.
So Shadow says his last trick-or-treating, his stepmother made him a Garfield costume by hand.
Wow.
And Garfield was his favorite character. And it is also what got him into comics. And yes, now that I see it, I can totally see how your style and Garfield are very intertwined, Shadow. You should show all the different colors that you have in your little handful of colors, because it's
I'm
a
not
nice.
using them all. It's a mixture of some colors that were for skin tones, some colors that were for the shirt.
Oftentimes when we're working, we end up with big handfuls of colors and such. All right, Adam, I'm letting you know that we're in our last 10 minutes here. I'm almost done getting all the lettering done on another couple of our webtoon things, and these will be ready to send off to our interns to get chopped up completely. Because a lot of webtoon stuff is intern work. That was
a lot of webtoon stuff is just
busy work.
Taking things that we've already done and readjusting them for a different format. I'm going to be bringing that necklace back, by the way. I know that it's totally disappeared now, but I'm going to be using the white pen to make that stand out again.
It's another one down. Fantastic. And Shadow's favorite candy was a 100 bar.
Grand. That's
You
an
know,
interesting choice.
I liked Twix as well. Or not Twix, but Twix is what I eventually settled on. But I really like Milky Way as well, but it also got too sweet for me.
Yeah.
Do you think our tastes change enough as we grow up?
Some
that
of
we
it is
just-
taste changing, but I do think that some of it is the candy changed.
And yes, Shadow, almost over here. It's very sweet that you're sad. Whew, 3 hours. The fact that you've made it through this long, amazing.
Yeah.
The fact that we've still got 10 people apparently in the background somewhere going, fantastic.
Blue is turning green on me. I do not know how to fix that. It's needed to be a very strong blue, but it's not going to be.
My poor honey. I know that this is not going the way you had it intended it, but I think whoever gets this is still going to be very happy with it.
It's cute how Comfort says that as though it matters to the creator.
Poor Adam. Oh, it's been a hard time. Oh, I could tell this has been a very big struggle for you. Oh, she looks super cute, honey.
It's alright.
It's fine for Adam. It's not what he wished it would be. Once you have all those colors and stuff.
See how green that blue is? How teal it is?
It is definitely like a little bit teal. Like,
Don't fucking know why. Like both of the blues that I used were very strong and distinct blue. But once they came together, they made green somehow. They made teal. Don't know why that happened.
I'm gonna quick use the bathroom and then I'm gonna get a dice. Adam, do you know how many $25 people we have?
I'll look it
Or
up.
25 and above?
Should have done the accent color on this first. She's, for people who can't quite tell what I'm doing right now, she's wearing her necktie as her braid, or as her hair scrunchie.
I'm in the bathroom, Adam, so you're gonna have to.
I'm using the book Ravenclaw colors, which were not blue and silver, but blue and what was it, brass or bronze? So it has more of a orange yellow cast. These colors are bleeding a bunch. I'm lucky these are shiny surfaces, but we have grossly overfilled these markers.
Did something else bloop
No,
out?
they're just kind of bleeding in general. There's too much ink going down
Okay.
on the page, which is causing them to have a reaction.
Alright, do we know what kind of dice we need, honey?
Give me a second here. I'll look that up.
Alright.
Just finishing her undershirt.
Alright, well, I'm here
I'm aware.
until you're ready. And Steven says you can do it, Adam.
Here's a fun question. Do we have a favorite Halloween special or movie?
Oh boy.
I don't know. Honestly, I'm not usually into
The
horror stuff very
specials?
much.
Trying to think of like, I know we both love, I don't know if it's a Halloween thing, but as children we both liked Monster Squad.
Yeah, Monster
And
Squad.
so, does
That's
that
actually kind
count?
of fun. I feel like that fits as a Halloween
Yes.
movie. In a
I
lot
don't
of
know if
ways.
it takes place on Halloween.
I don't know if it does either.
I
but
like Hocus Pocus as well.
Yes, Hocus Pocus is definitely a Halloween movie. Other than the Charlie Brown one, I'm not sure that I can think of any Halloween specials.
And we also got another patron here.
That's
Ted
great.
Brown is now a patron. So that brings us, we are now $125
Nice.
away.
What did he jump in at? Is he?
So
gonna be up
he's
for
just
the
a $5.
drawing?
So he is
Okay.
here to see the stream and
Awesome.
vote.
Well, that's great. Just wanted to make sure I knew before we did the voting, or excuse me, not the voting, but the roll to see who wins
Mhm.
this guy.
Yep. Man, $125 away. That's killer. You could be doing Mrs. Frizzle tomorrow. Man. gonna have to be saying thank you to our new patrons then. I wonder if Luna was the thing that got people to come in.
That would be awesome.
Yep.
It is rare that my favorite and a crowd favorite actually lines up. I usually wind up liking characters that are not the popular ones. So it's a special treat when I can be excited for something that other people are also excited for. Just doing some little details here, wrapping up this section.
Alright. So when you're done with that, it's dice time.
Yep.
And thank you everybody too for being so supportive tonight.
Yeah.
Because as you can tell, Adam's had a little bit of a frustrated
Markers are
night.
very bleedy and it's driving me nuts, but I'm making it work.
Alright.
Alright, so
What kind of dice do I need?
let me tell you.
Adam is looking at
Check
things.
that out.
He's finding out what we need.
We have 10.
10. So a 10-sided die.
Yep, fetch me a 10-sided die.
Alright. Let's see here. Where's the dice thing? Where's your big dice thing? Did you hear me?
My big dice bag?
Yeah.
It's in there.
It's in here?
It's on top of the box. You see the little box with the art all over it? On top of that, it might be pushed a little far back, so you gotta look.
Here it is. It's behind my dice. You want to show everybody the dice? I'm going to move this just in case there's something on the bottom of it.
Oh yeah, this is my dice bag. On the inside. Ta-da. There's all the little spaces for the different die sizes. Gonna have to figure out what to do. We're looking at running another game again soon, and I'm gonna be doing the Genesis system by Fantasy Flight Games, which has custom dice, which I'm really excited for because it's a super neat system. But I'm gonna have to figure out where to put them so they don't get lost in this thing. So, 10-sided die. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
And Adam, you have the list
I
here.
do. I have them all like numbered in a row, and I'll just count my way down to see who is the lucky person.
All right. And whoever the lucky person is will have to get out. You.
Oh, the thing. Sorry. Get that back here.
Adam is in a little bit of a daze, I can tell.
Number 7. Lucky number 7. So, who is number 7? Number 7 is Rachel Crouch. Rachel will be our winner this time.
Oh my goodness. This is serendipitous because I'm pretty sure we'll see Rachel at a con.
Oh, she usually goes to Yoma, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Or Grand Rapids. Maybe both. So yeah, we can hand it to her in person. Just
Oh,
like
man.
we tell. Oh yay! Maybe the dice will continue to be kind, and we'll keep rolling people that we see at cons. That would be lovely.
Well, Rachel will get Luna here. And don't worry for people who didn't win. So everybody that won is, will take a couple of seats to.
Hey, Rachel's here.
Rachel is
Congratulations,
here.
Rachel. She's gonna get all done.
We promise.
We promise.
And then we'll make a speed
I got
video. out
slowed
of
down
her.
trying to make sure everything was working right. But yeah, she's gonna be great. I hope.
I know.
She's gonna be cute anyway.
Adam is pessimistic about his work
Always
until the
pessimistic
end.
in the midpoint.
Yep. But I know this will be great.
So okay, that's gonna be it for us tonight. Sorry I couldn't get it all the way done, but this was a lot, and we hope that.
And
Yeah.
And I want to say too, for the people who didn't win, if there is any of these prints that or images that you really like, and we make it to the next goal after this one, so we're $125 now away.
The next goal.
For Mrs.
The
Frizzle.
goal after
Right.
that, you guys can get a free print every month of anything you want, including these pieces we've done here.
All right. So if you want anything from the any one of our sketches that we've done, or old prints, or whatever, it is all fair game. So that will be the next big goal. We'll have to make it there, but I think we can, because I think it's a pretty awesome goal for everybody at 25 to get one free print
That's pretty good.
every month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's some good business. All right. Well,
All right.
that's it for us tonight. We're going to be wrapping this up. We'll post her around so you'll get to see how she turns out. Thanks for hanging out and having fun with us. And congratulations again, Rachel. I'm glad you're excited. We're excited. And we will see you guys again very soon. Good night, everybody.
Good night.